Hello, this is old Mr. Kent of MrKent.com. And I'm flying out of the park I flew out of a couple weeks ago to catch up on the construction that's going on in the area there where that was rained out in our monsoon season last summer, and nobody could work in the mud. So it sat there, and then weeds grew up, and they had a hard time. But finally, they got started, and they're still building, or they're beginning to build houses now. So we'll go take a look at that. And while we're looking at that, I'll go on with my life story. This one here is started when I was 5 years old, and then we jump ahead to about 10 years, and then we'll carry on. So if you haven't been following my channel, my folks moved out from Cheyenne, Wyoming to Seattle area and lived 6 miles east of Renton. And we were in a wooded area. And so there wasn't any kids around to play with, so I just kind of played, made things out of sticks and played out around in the woods. And I was all alone, and we lived there for 5 years. So when my folks moved into town really close to downtown Seattle. In fact, I learned later, I got to thinking it really wasn't all that great of a neighborhood. But that's where we were for about another 5 years. And so I had grown up doing things without any playmates or anything. So I was kind of like I was okay being a loner. And so when they moved into town, well, I'd work on models in my bedroom. I'd build I always made little projects out of something. So anyway, that's what I did. And then when I got up to my sophomore year, I started it at Garfield High School in Seattle, and I was just like a loner still. And in fact, I was so much of a loner that I didn't even want to be noticed by people. So at lunchtime, by the way, this is my ice cream sandwich story. At lunchtime, I didn't have anything to do during the lunch hour, so I would buy me an ice cream sandwich, and then I would go stand out just outside the cafeteria, and I'd stand at a heat register. Now, if you don't know what a heat register is, that's where they used to use steam heat, and then there would be this thing with all the veins of metal in it, and you'd lean up against that, it'd be nice and warm. So I did that, and I know that was when I was beginning to notice girls, and so I was watching. I thought, it's just something that's built into a guy. So I was kind of wondering, how am I going to get? Well, then I watched to see how people got girlfriends, and what I found out was as I stood there every day in the hallway watching the kids go back and forth, I noticed that they every time they see somebody, they'd say hi, and I thought, well, that's cool. That's how it works. You got to be friendly, and the Bible says that have friends. A man must show himself friendly. So, but I didn't know that at that time. I was just wondering what to do. So anyway, my only problem, because I was such a recluse and a loner, that I thought, well, if I start doing that, everybody's going to notice me. They're going to say, what happened to Kent? How come he's changing? What's going on? I don't know if that would have really happened, but that was going on in my mind. So I couldn't just leave the heat register and start talking to people. It just wasn't going to happen, although I knew how to make it work. Well, as it turned out, God is so good, because my dad was now working out of the Seattle-Tacoma Airport, which is about 15 miles south of downtown Seattle. And so they bought a house out there so he wouldn't have to drive so far to work every day. So they got this house out there, and my halfway through, I started at Garfield, and so they didn't want to transfer me until at the semester break. Semester break, I guess you'd say. And so I lived with the neighbors and went to school, and I thought, still going through my mind, if I could just talk to somebody and be friendly, I can see that I would would pick up some friends, plus friends and girlfriends. Just I'd have friends, but I was not about to make it obvious that I had changed. I was scared to death to do that. And this is true story. So anyway, so my folks bought this house, and at the semester time, I was going to leave Garfield and go to Highline High School out by the airport. Well, my little brain was clicking away, and I said, "Ha! If I start a new school, nobody's going to know what I really am or how I really feel, and they'll think I'm just a normal guy. So when I get to the new school, I'm just going to be friendly and say hi to people, and then they'll never know that I changed." And that's how my brain was working. And so anyway, so got moved to the new school, and there happened to be a boy named Henry who worked at United Airlines along with my dad, and he was about my age, and so we got acquainted, and then we'd kind of hang out together. And of course, he was naturally friendly, and so I decided, I'm just going to say hi. Everybody walked down the hall in front of me, I'd say hi to him. I was overdoing it, but I didn't know that. And so I got to know a lot of people, and a lot of people got to know me. And they had a Youth for Christ club there. And so I got involved with that. And then they built a new school in that district. And so it was called Rainier High School. And if you're from that area, you probably know some of these schools. And as it turned out, when the end of the year came, the following year would be my junior year. We were moved over to that school because of where we lived, and so Henry and I, we had a lot of fun in the new school, but I won't go into that. So anyway, we went there, and of course, we wanted to start up a Youth for Christ club. And we had to have a teacher sponsor us, and that wasn't hard back then. And so we got a Youth for Christ club started up, and we started getting kids coming to the club. And then somewhere along the line, we had to elect officers, and I was always goofing around. So anyway, he because we started it, they made him president, and I was vice president of the club, and so. That's how I became so popular. I was vice president. And by the way, there were times when we had something big going on. We've had 10% of the student body show up at our Youth for Christ meetings. We had our meetings on Friday mornings. I got a lot of stories about that. I should try to write them down so I remember to tell you what they were. So anyway, that's how I changed from, and I learned a lesson. If I just had enough guts, I would have changed when I was in Garfield. But I was too inward. So anyway, that's how it worked with me, and it would work with it. If you're afraid to make friends, just gut it out and and start saying hi to people. Yeah, and that's how come when I went on my bike ride, and when I go on my bike rides, I say hi and I wave, and it's fun. So, as we land, I want to thank you for watching my videos, and God bless.